All right, how do you feel about going back on the trail now?
I was having mixed feelings until we pulled up in the parking lot. Now I feel like I'm ready to go.
And you got some new swag.
Yeah, my shorts got even shorter. I got some new sunglasses again. Still the same shoes for now. But yeah, we're back in this thing, and you know, we've got miles to walk. So we're gonna do it.
And why is today special?
Why? Because of Juneteenth?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I think we gotta go over here. What's up? Guess who's back? I'm back again. Today is Monday, June 20th, 2022. It is day 120, and we're finally back on trail. And look, I have someone with me. It's Carrie.
Hi. This is such a beautiful day.
It is.
It's so amazing to see Justin. He's the best.
We try. So yeah, girls, it's been 6 days and I've been sitting in New York City doing a whole lot of nothing. But I was ready to go. So Carrie was so kind enough to drive me back. And she was also so kind to let me stay in her apartment for several days, which I greatly appreciate. So thank you.
It's very comfortable there.
It is. Oh, look, we've got hikers here.
Sometimes you need a little rest, don't you think?
Yeah. Hang on a sec. Let's see who's here.
Oh.
So this is the road where I officially got off trail 6 days ago. Carrie was so nice to bring me back, but unfortunately this road is closed. So we had to go a different route and walk 3/10 of a mile back to the road so that I'm not skipping any portion of the trail. And so we got that out of the way. As you just saw, there are tons of thru hikers here soaking up some trail magic, and now we're gonna walk back to the parking lot where we just were, and I will continue on from there. All right, so this is where we parked. So not skipping any portion of the trail. And y'all know I'm not a super purist, but you know, I just didn't want that little piece to stick out in my mind as not being completed. So I just did that real quick. And luckily we arrived just in time to receive some trail magic. Apparently there's plenty of that going around New York today. So I'm about to get me a little hot dog. Exactly, trail magic.
Thank you.
So I'll swallow this real quick and then we'll get going. I remember when we came here before, and I was like so afraid of snakes, but now I just don't care.
I heard you make many a snake comment on the last day, okay? Maybe you've taken it down by 50%. You and that guy Dave, when we saw that snake, he was like...
All right, so that was a lot going on back in the parking lot. Trail magic as soon as we show up, and also a ton of other thru hikers coming through this area today, some of which I already knew. Obviously they caught up to me since I've taken so many days off, but I also almost forgot my resupply in Carrie's car. I guess I've been a little anxious about getting back on trail, and we started walking, and then I was like, oh wait, all the food that I just bought, I don't even have it. But now I do. I have everything, I swear. And I am off for real this time. So I think the plan for today is to knock out about 13 miles and stop at West Mountain Shelter. Naturally, since I took so many days off, I can't just come back in trying to do 20 miles right off the bat. So we're gonna try to ease our way into it for a couple days, see how we feel. Well, I mean, right now I feel pretty amazing, but we'll see how we feel in the next few days as my body readjusts to doing this, and we'll take it from there. Guess what's going through the lemon squeezer today? That should be fun, maybe? Sure, who knows? Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the lemon squeezer, where hikers have to literally fit through the narrowest rock path ever with a full pack on. It should be fun. Okay, so y'all, we are going through the lemon squeeze, and I need y'all to really get into, like, look at how tight this is. And we gotta climb up some rocks, and I have these trekking poles in my hands. Okay. Everybody watching is gonna hate the fact that I'm so skinny, but this is still a challenge. And the further you go, the tighter it gets. All right, let's throw that pole up there. All right. Okay. Would have been much easier with two hands, but you know me. Okay. All right, now let's see if I can climb up out of here. Those rock climbing, bouldering skills to the test. Oh. Oh. There you go. Lemon squeeze. So right out of the lemon squeeze, you have this ridiculous rock scramble. And they do provide an alternate trail around if you're unable to climb up this. Last time I was here, I did not climb up this, but I wasn't a climber back then like I sort of am now. So we're gonna figure our way over this today. Carrie's gonna be a lot smarter than me by putting her poles away first. I did it with poles in hand because I didn't want to go through all that. But as y'all can see, you're literally climbing straight up. And takes some skill here. But to date, I still have not taken any alternates and still am not doing it today. This is the fun stuff. This is what we came out here for. Please don't fall.
Wow. This is not easy to start.
No.
Okay, I started wrong.
Did you get it? All right, there we go. That is intense.
That was fun.
So Carrie and I just parted ways. She hiked with me for just a few miles, and she has to go back into New York City because she has to work. Carrie, thank you again for everything you've done to help me this week. I love the friends that I have. I love the relationships that I have been able to cultivate, and I only hope that they can continue to grow. And I hope that I can support people and friends the way that they've all supported me. But that's the kind of person that I believe I am, so that's what I'm gonna just try to continue to be. But yeah, for now, we're back on our own, continuing north to Maine, and I'm feeling okay at the moment. I have to tell y'all, when I got off trail last week, I told myself that I was only going to hang in the city for a couple days, maybe try to see some old friends and then keep going. But really, in the not so far off distance in my mind, there was the thought of, rather than getting back on the train and coming back out to the trail, I might just get on the train, go back to Baltimore, and call it. It's like mentally, I have not been in the greatest space in the last several weeks, and you all probably know that because I've been documenting everything, and people have had a lot to say, some of it ridiculous, but we're not even going to focus on that right now. I don't really care. But yeah, you know, I was almost at my breaking point where I was just feeling like, you know, I've already proven that I can do this, but is it worth it? But, you know, I told y'all I don't just quit things. So the thought of going home, I know, just would not sit right with me if I actually did. But yeah, it was a thought. And I sat in New York City for 6 days, pretty much talking myself into coming back out here. But we're gonna continue on, and whatever expectations I may have had before about, you know, meeting people, making connections, forming families, all of that, that's out the window. And even that is kind of complicated for me to say because, you know, a lot of people tell me, just focus on you, focus on you. Don't worry about other people. Just worry about your experience. And I know why they are saying that. But like I keep saying, I'm not like a lot of people out here. For starters, I would say I'm always focusing on me if I wasn't frog. And I kind of got off trail a little bit. But if I wasn't focusing on me, I never would have come out here in the first place. And I wouldn't have lasted pretty much 1,400 miles. At the same time, even though I'm doing my thing, doing something that I've always wanted to do, I knew that I didn't want to make this experience all about me. If it was, I probably wouldn't be documenting anything. I wouldn't be so gung-ho about like forming relationships and making connections and spending time with people and trying to share this experience. I'm someone who searches for community, and I try to create community. And honestly, I've done that. I've created a whole community of people who support me and appreciate what it is that I'm doing. And in all the years leading up to this hike, where I'm watching other thru hikers, all I heard was, oh, the AT is all about community. It's all about community. It's all about community. So when I come out here and I'm expecting to find and feel like I'm a part of a community, and I feel like that just isn't happening, then I think I have a right to be upset or disappointed about that. And that's what I've been expressing. But as much as I try to say that in different ways, a lot of people still just don't get it. They don't understand. So, you know, I'm just gonna keep hiking, and we'll see what happens with the rest of this experience. So y'all know that now that we're back on trail, we're getting back to acknowledging these ancestral lands, right? So welcome to the lands of the Munsee Lenape and Scottacope tribal nations. And I had to do a quick Google search to figure out how to pronounce that second one. I believe I said it right. Scottacope. Yeah, we back on that. Well, we still on that because we ain't ever left. All right, so we made it to William Bryan Shelter, or is it William O'Brien Shelter? Something like that. I kept it pretty light and easy today, just doing 9.5 miles. Tomorrow, I'll maybe try to pick it up a little bit and do more like 16.5. But yeah, I just decided to crash here tonight because I know there's water here, and just don't want to overdo it after taking so many zeros. Feels kind of good to be back out, honestly. It's a nice day, nice evening, not super hot, not super cold, and there's someone else here, so it's nice to be engaging with other thru hikers again. That is so cool.
It just keeps going, too.
It's a long one.
Oh, there's the tail.
We've got a bunch of hikers here. A lot of cool people. Things might be turning around already. And man, these bear cables are super clutch. Almost time for bed. All right, so today was a nice first day back out. Yeah, I'm glad I decided not to quit. And moving forward, I'm going to just try to remain open and do my best to just keep a positive attitude, because I want to look back on this experience and say that I did enjoy it. And in recent weeks, I've been a little disappointed, frustrated, thinking that I'm going to finish this hike and look back on it and say, oh, that wasn't really much of anything. Or I've been a little worried that I would look back on this experience and just not really think much of it or not really care. And I mean, I am fortunate to be doing something like this, so I got to remember that. And yeah, just got to take it one day at a time. Tomorrow we'll be crossing 1,400 miles and we'll have pretty much 800 to go. So I'm ready to get this done, to knock it out and be able to say that I did it and see what else I want to do next. But yeah, it's about 8:30, sun is setting, and I'm about to get ready to go to bed. So I will see y'all in the morning. Good night. Ooh. Yeah, we just took care of business too, but good night. Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, June 21st. It is day 121. It is also the first day of summer. Excuse me. So that means that today is going to be the longest day of the year. So the plan for today is to knock out 16 and a half miles and camp out at this Graymore Spiritual Life Center. They have a baseball field and a pavilion on the grounds, showers, and they allow hikers to camp there for free. So that's where I'm gonna stop for today. As I mentioned yesterday, I don't want to try to do too much as I'm just getting back on trail after several days off. But today should be a pretty interesting day and a pretty fun day. In about a mile, we have what's probably the most dangerous road crossing on the entire AT. And actually, a thru hiker died trying to cross this road maybe last year or the year before that. So the ATC put in place a detour for hikers to take, but I've heard reports that the detour is more trouble than it's worth. So a couple of guys from the shelter last night said that they would hang around so that we can all cross the road together and make sure we can all get across safely. Basically, we're crossing an interstate, so a lot of fast moving cars, and it's New York, so you know people are not gonna want to stop or slow down. So there's that happening, and about 2.5 to 3 miles I will be crossing mile 1400 officially. I'll be going through Bear Mountain today, going through the zoo at Bear Mountain, which I'm kind of excited about, as if I haven't already seen a ton of wildlife. But yeah, the trail literally walks right through the zoo at Bear Mountain, so we'll get to see some animals. We get to cross a bridge over to the other side of the Hudson River, and I believe there's a deli, another deli today. So I had a really good night's sleep last night. I did toss around a little bit, but I woke up this morning still feeling pretty rested, so I'm happy about that. And I just realized I haven't even shown you all my new Z-Packs tent. So once I get to this campsite today, I'll get it set up and I'll show you all. And it's right around 7:30 in the morning, so I should be finishing up pretty early today. So that'll be nice. So I actually need to catch up to these guys before they get to the road and decide to cross without me, but I don't think they'll do that. I'm right behind them. So yeah, let's get the day started, shall we? Check out these lower Hudson Valley views. Got a New York City skyline all the way back there, which you probably can't see. Here, I'll show you. There she goes. And I ain't going back there. Not anytime soon. Okay, so we've come to the Detour. As I mentioned earlier, there's a very dangerous road crossing up ahead, which you can see right here. But instead of taking that, the Appalachian Trail Conference wants you to take this detour, which goes up and around and taking a bridge over the interstate rather than crossing the interstate itself and then coming back down to the trail. The only issue with the detour that I've heard is that it is not well marked and it's very easy to lose your way on the trail. So me and the other two guys who you all just saw up ahead are going to take our chances with the road crossing. I'm not going to recommend this to anyone else, but I'll just say do what you feel is best. Stay safe, and the odds are always greater if you have numbers with you. Literally got to the road at the perfect time when I was able to cross. So didn't have any issues with this one.
Real good.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Now they're stuck.
A lot of effort on the quads.
Okay, nice knowing you. I'll stay here though.
He brought up a good other alternative. Instead of like...
So we have completed the first climb of the day up West Mountain, and right across the way over there you can see Bear Mountain, and that'll be the next climb. And I know that's Bear Mountain because I can see the little tower that's on top of it. All right, so it is about 20 after 11 and I've done just over 7 miles so far today. So I have less than 10 miles to go and I'm here for it. Definitely love these light and easy days. It hasn't necessarily been the easiest because, excuse me, there have been a couple of climbs. We went up West Mountain, which I showed you the view of Bear Mountain. And now we have just reached the top of Bear Mountain. So you can see there is the overlook tower right behind me. And they also have these trash cans. So I'm going to throw my trash away and yeah, taking the views for a sec and then head down to where the lodge is. And I believe there's a cafe there, so I think I might stop and grab something to eat while I'm down there, and definitely a coffee because I need a coffee. And I'm a little sad to say that I found out that the zoo that the AT goes right through is closed, unfortunately. So not gonna get to experience that. I was kind of looking forward to it, but oh well. As long as we're moving north, that's all I really care about at this point. And I've been able to spend some time with some different people, so definitely enjoying that. So yeah, let's throw some trash away, enjoy some views, and go get some bite to eat. The last time I was up here on Bear Mountain, it was a Saturday in the summertime, and there were so many people. But this was years ago, probably 2019 if I remember correctly. But it's so quiet today, and I kind of like it. So this is the top of the observation tower here on Bear Mountain, and you can look out and see what mountains are off in the distance. So West Mountain is literally right over there where we just came from. It's a little cloudy today, but typically you could see the New York City skyline right back in there, but can't really see it right now. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Welcome to Bear Mountain Inn. Unfortunately, I will not be staying here, but I will eat here. And that's Anthony's nose right up there, so I have to climb up that next when I leave here. But I'm gonna hang out for a bit at the pavilion. I heard there's a merry-go-round, so if it's open, I'm gonna ride it. All right, so it is a little after 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm now leaving Bear Mountain State Park. I've got just under 7 miles to do to get to my campsite for the night. So should be finishing up pretty early today. And it's so beautiful here. Look at this. The lake. Mountain in the background. It's pretty nice. So yeah, there was a cafe here, so I stopped to grab a bite to eat, and I'm taking off again. So we are going to walk across the bridge to the other side of the Hudson, and gotta climb up to Anthony's Nose, which I've done that hike before, and I'm excited to get up there and to have a nice view of this area. It's been super cool hiking these sections of New York, because when I lived here a few years back, I pretty much was jumping on the train every weekend and coming upstate and going on hikes. I've pretty much hiked every trail in this area. So it's really cool to be back here and to be seeing this stuff again. And you know, those 6 days that I spent in the city were really telling to me, because you know, I have to admit that I am not a New York girl anymore like I used to be. And I used to be a New York girl, let me tell you. I used to eat, sleep, and breathe New York City, and I used to think it was the greatest place ever, and I wanted to spend my life here and didn't want to leave, but I'm excited to no longer be a resident of New York City. Just being there, I felt so out of place. Looking around, seeing everyone live their, you know, day-to-day lives in a city like that, it was clear to me that I no longer want that for myself. And, you know, I've talked a little bit about what my life may become, what I want for myself, and we're still putting the pieces of that together, but I know what I don't want at this point. And, you know, simple living, a simple life is enough for me. Not one where I have to grind day in and day out and struggle. So, yeah. It's been really interesting coming through here again. All right, let's see what this is. I'm so sad the zoo isn't open. I really wanted to walk through. So now I guess I have to figure out where this Blue Blaze trail is. Going across the bridge. I went an extra 7/10 of a mile off trail just to get this view. I haven't been here in years, but it is so worth it. There's Bear Mountain straight across there. You can see the little monument on top. There's a train going by. Nice little view of the Hudson. It felt so nice to take in that view again. I haven't been up to Anthony's Nose again since 2019. 2019 was the year that hiking started to become a very strong interest, or dare I say, passion of mine. And all it took was just a little bit of interest, and I jumped all the way in to the point where I'm now here on my first ever through hike. And, you know, as I was walking across the bridge, crossing the Hudson, you see all these cars driving by and people looking over, and they see me, a guy with a backpack on, and he's walking. And I could tell that some people recognized that I was a thru hiker. Some of those people knew what the Appalachian Trail was. And it was a proud moment for me, you know, to walk across that bridge as a thru hiker and to see all these people driving by and knowing that they see me out here doing this. And then when I got up to the lookout back there at Anthony's Nose, started talking to a couple who was there just out on a day hike with their dog. And they started asking me questions about where I'm coming from, where I'm going. And when I told them that I was through hiking the trail, you know, their mouths opened wide and they got all excited. And I thought that was pretty cool. How you doing? Pretty good. What's up? Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool because you know, it means a lot to me for people to recognize me as being, you know, a thru hiker. You know, they could run into any thru hiker in the world, but they're running into a black one. And that's still such a big deal because pretty much everyone who I've encountered on trail thus far, whether they are other thru hikers or folks in town, they all tell me the same thing. Either I'm the only black person that they've seen out here, or I'm one of a small few. And it still stands to this day that black and brown people are not really associated with thru hiking. So there are these moments where I just feel really proud to be here and to be representing the communities that I'm representing. I didn't ask for it, but it is what it is. And I'm happy to do it. And you know, this adventure or journey, as everyone calls it, hasn't necessarily been the easiest for me. I haven't always felt the happiest being here, or I haven't always felt like I was having a lot of fun, but I'm still very proud of myself for making it this far and for continuing on even with my struggles. And I think I'm starting to feel a shift within myself where, at least in this moment, I feel like I'm allowing this hike to be what it is, rather than trying to like force my expectations on it. And so that has allowed me to relax a little more and not get so emotional or frustrated. Yeah. So it is right around 5:30 and I've completed 17 and a half miles today. I just stopped at the Appalachian Trail Deli in Garrison, New York. I didn't bother to record because it's supposed to start raining any minute, but I got to the deli, wasn't really that hungry, so I just grabbed a little thing of ice cream and a coffee and had that really quickly. And now I'm gonna finish up this last half mile to the Graymore Spiritual Life Center. So I wanna get my tent and everything set up before it starts raining. It's supposed to start raining any minute. So I will update you all in a little bit once we make it there and get settled. But of course, first we have to walk through all of this. All right, so here we have an official first look at the new tent. So as I mentioned to y'all before, I decided that my Z-Packs duplex was a little too much space for me, so I have swapped that out for Z-Packs' newest solo trekking pole tent, which is called the Plex Solo. So this is a one-person tent. As you can see, it takes up a much smaller footprint than my duplex does, which makes it easier to find a stealth camp spot in a pinch. I love that I only have to use one of my trekking poles, so I don't have to keep taking my phone mount off of my other pole in order to set up my tent. I have all the space that I need inside the tent for just me, and I can fit all of my stuff inside. Right now I don't have everything inside. I just set up my sleeping pad and quilt, which I'll actually show you my new sleeping pad. So right now, until I can get my hands on another, Thermarest Neo Air, I will be using this, what is it called? Climate sleeping pad. It is a little heavier than my Thermarest pad, but it's been getting the job done so far, and I've been able to sleep through the night. So there we have it. New tent. And I got it in this really cool dirt color. I guess they call it dirt. It looks more like a rust to me. But yeah, I love this tent. It has everything I need. So we're here at the Graymore Spiritual Life Center. I literally got my tent set up right before it started to rain a little bit. Thankfully, it's not raining hard, and I hope that it continues to stay like this, because they do say it's supposed to rain throughout the night, which I'm not excited about. This is my second time sleeping in my new Z-Packs tent, which you all just saw, and this is the second time that I am camping out.
Take care.
Thank you, you too. Camping out in the rain with it, so that's annoying, but there are worse things. So yeah, I'm pretty much all set up with camp. I'm just sort of hanging around, charging up my phone at this little outlet that's here in the pavilion, and I'm probably gonna eat a little something. I packed out a margarita, which I bought at the Bear Mountain Inn, so I'm gonna have that to drink tonight. And there are some other hikers showing up, so maybe we'll, hang out. But we'll see. So this might be all for tonight. There's really not much to say. I just mapped out my little itinerary to get me through the rest of New York, Connecticut, and Massachusetts. And I think it'll take me exactly 7 days to get to Great Barrington, Massachusetts. And then from there, we will go up into Vermont and see all the sights that I have been waiting to see in Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. So yeah, I'm excited. My body is feeling those 6 zeros, and I'm having a more difficult time getting going and also getting up these little climbs. But I'm hopeful that in the next few days, I'll start to get back to my normal hiking machine type self. And I'm planning pretty moderate days with no more than like 17, 18 miles. Though I did squeeze like 1 mile day in there, so we'll see how that goes. I think if I start pretty early in the morning and try to keep a consistent pace, I'll be pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty much all for now. I'm probably not gonna record anymore tonight, so I will see y'all in the morning. Good night. Today is Wednesday, June 22nd, and it is day 122. Today is also the second day of summer, even though it really does not feel like it. Packed up a wet tent this morning, but that's okay. And I'm just getting started. It's around 8 o'clock, and we're getting back on trail. So I've already hiked about 3 miles today. The ground is very wet and muddy from all the rain yesterday. And the rocks and roots are slippery, so I'm trying to be as careful as possible. But I'm also just still moving because I'm really in the mood to hike today. So the plan is to do right around 19 miles to reach this shelter called the RPH shelter. which I don't really know what RPH stands for, but who cares? So yeah, I don't think it should be too much of a challenge today. I mean, the inclines are not super difficult, although my body is still getting used to being back on trail, so they are feeling a little harder than before. But we'll get it back, and I'll have my trail legs back just in time for the more serious climbs once I get up into New England. So yeah, it's not the warmest today, but it's a pretty comfortable hiking temperature in the mid to high 60s, which I personally like. And it's sort of gloomy and overcast today, which I also like. So yeah, I think today should be a pretty solid day. No delis today, so I shouldn't be stopping for any reasons or taking any like side routes or anything like that. Today is just a normal day of hiking. So let's go. I'm telling you, New York has been the most poorly marked section of trail out of any other state, and I don't understand it. There have been several moments since I've been in this state where I'm following what I believe to be the trail, and then all of a sudden I don't see any more white blazes anywhere. And when I check the map, I see that I've somehow ended up off trail. New York makes no sense. I don't understand it, but I think I'm supposed to go this way. So let's find out. Now introducing another native territory. So these lands belong to Munsee, Lenape, Scottacoke, and Wappinger native tribes. Today has felt somewhat challenging for a couple of different reasons. The first of which, I have found myself enthralled in a seemingly never-ending well of negative thoughts. I've been having feelings again and thoughts that I'm just ready to wrap this whole thing up and go home. How can I do another 750 or so miles feeling like blah? You know, yesterday I was really trying to pick myself up and put myself back in this hike. And today it just feels like just that quickly I'm out of it again. And I don't know what to do. There's a part of me that still wants to just quit. Not because I don't feel like I can do this, but because I'm just, I'm not invested anymore. I feel like I've given this everything that I have. And, it's just exhausting. It's exhausting. Mentally, more so than physically, even though it is pretty physically daunting as well. The mental aspect is the big thing here, which I've mentioned in a previous episode. The other reason, the terrain today, though not super challenging, there's just a lot of elevation gain and loss, and it just feels like we're going up and then we're going down, then we're going up and then we're going down, and almost like the PUDs that everyone says Virginia is infamous for. I feel like I've just been going over a bunch of PUDs today and never really breaking free of this green tunnel, which is fine. Every day is not going to be filled with stunning views, but yeah, today has just been hard. I've run the gamut of emotions today. I've stopped several times this morning and just had little emotional breakdowns. And, I'm feeling a little better now that I've gotten that stuff out of my system. But I don't know. I'm worried about what the next few days are going to feel like, or weeks, or months. So I feel like I can't quit. I feel like there's too much that I put into this, too much on my shoulders, more than what I really want to be carrying on my shoulders, but I guess I'm carrying it now. But in a couple miles, there's the Canopy Lake Beach. I think that's what it's called. And apparently there's a concession stand that's now open every day. Finally, something is open, hopefully, when I get there. So I'm planning to stop there and have a little bite to eat. And more than half the day, it's pretty much already over. I can't remember exactly how many miles I've done so far today, but I'm around 9 or 10. And I think by the time I get to this beach, I should be closer to like 11, 12. And I'm only doing 19 miles today, so that'll be good. It's a little after 12:30 right now, so I think I'm making good time and planning to finish up the day pretty early, again, like yesterday. Well, just made it to Cannabis Lake Beach. That's 13 miles on the day so far. Now I'm praying that the concession stand is open, but something tells me that it's probably not going to be open. The signs do all say weather permitting, and as you can see, it's not looking too great out today, but I'm gonna hope and pray that it might be open anyway. Okay, so good news. The snack bar is open. Yay! And I just got some ice cream. I was gonna get some real food here, but when I got here, I ran into another hiker whose name is Professor, and she recognized me, and she said, hey, I just called an Uber to take me to a pizza place just up the road. Do you wanna go? And so I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So I'm gonna go get pizza instead. And then hopefully I can find an Uber back here, which if she can find one from here, I should be able to find one back. So let's hope, but I want pizza now. Okay, so it is right around 4:30 right now, and I've just gotten dropped back off at Canopy Lake Beach, and I'm now getting back on trail. Wait, did I just say that twice? I spent about 3 hours at that pizza shop with Professor, and a few others showed up, and these were hikers who I've never seen before, but a few of them also knew who I was. So we talked a little bit, and you know, I was just explaining to Professor how I've been feeling, and you know, just pretty much explaining that it would be nice to find like some people to hike around. And she totally understood where I was coming from, and I finally felt like I was being heard. And she said, hey, well, if you find someone and you feel like you want to hang with them, how about just try asking them, hey, how do you feel about hiking together? So I think I may look into something like that. The only issue is that whenever I meet someone who I find interesting, it's like our schedules are on two different things. Like they'll be taking a break or taking a few days off trail right when I get back on trail, and that's pretty much what Professor is doing. Otherwise, she said that I was more than welcome to hike with her and her partner, or her hiking partner. And then last night at the Graymore Spiritual Life Center, there was a tramily of all queer individuals, which I was so happy to meet. And wait a minute, I'm confused again. Let's press pause on this while I figure out where I am and how to get back to trail. Okay, we're back. I told y'all New York was confusing. But yeah, there was a tramily of all queer through hikers at the campsite last night, and I started chatting it up with them. They seemed pretty cool. It would have been nice to possibly try to spend some time together, but they told me that they were about to get off trail to go back into New York City because this week is Pride Week in New York City. And I was like, dang, I was just in New York City for a week and I'm definitely not going back. So maybe I'll see them another time. But you know, it makes me feel a little better that I'm meeting people and starting to, you know, have conversations and still trying to make connections out here. Yeah, I think that would be the, you know, like turning point for me at this stage in the hike. Because like I mentioned earlier, I was having some serious thoughts of just wanting to be done, but I'm feeling so much better now. So let's get these last 5 miles out of the way, get to this shelter, and see who else we come across in the coming days. And it's still crazy to me how many people like know who I am as soon as they see me. Like, insane. Okay, here's that RPH shelter that I was originally gonna stay at. And now I see that stands for Ralph's Peak Hikers Cabin. But instead of staying here, I decided I'm just going to hike another 5 miles and go right back to the pizza shop in Delhi. They let hikers camp out back, and Professor is there. She doesn't know that I'm planning to come back because I thought I was gonna stop here, but I think I'm gonna surprise her. Her and her other friend who was pretty excited to see me right before I left. Yo, I am killing it right now. I've done 6.5 miles in literally 2 hours. And I only have 3 miles left to go, and it's only 6:30, so I should be there around 7:30, which is making pretty good time. A lot faster than what I was expecting, but I think we got these good old trail legs back. All right, so I made it back to the road, which takes me back to the pizza shop and deli. So I should be there in about 5 minutes. Professor is going to be so surprised that I'm back, because I told her I probably wasn't gonna make it back this far. But I did, made a big push. So I turned what would have been a 19-mile day into a 23-mile day. And I'm actually surprised I could still do this, considering all those zeros I just took, but we knocked it out. So if the deli next door is still open, I'm probably gonna go in and grab a little something to drink, set up my tent, and get ready for bed. Good thing I don't have to hang a bear bag or cook dinner tonight, because I have a few extra slices of pizza which I packed out before I left, because I'm smart like that. Good morning. Today is Thursday, June 23rd, day 123. I'm sitting outside of the deli, which I camped behind last night. Professor and her little crew have already gone back to the trail, but I couldn't go back without getting a breakfast sandwich first. Good old sausage, egg, and cheese. I also picked up a couple snacks because I'm low on food and I didn't have any breakfast food. But I'll be heading back to trail in a few minutes. And not sure how far I'm gonna go today. I was originally planning to get to Pawling, New York, which would have been a 17-mile day yesterday had I not made the push here. But today, it's only going to be like a 12-mile day, I think. So, should be a pretty easy day. The professor was telling me about some restaurant that they're planning to go to later on today. So, I'm going to see how far they're planning to go and probably hit that with them because I love food. So yesterday, mentally, I was kind of all over the place. But after running into her, my mood kind of shifted. So, still feeling good today. Ready to get back out there. So, let's make it happen. You can smell all the burnt wood in this area. So it was pretty recent. All right, so I'm about 3.5 miles in on the day. It is a little after 9 o'clock, and I'm taking a little pit stop here at Morgan Stewart Shelter because I have to use the bathroom, and unfortunately the deli did not have one for hikers to use. So this shelter has a privy, so let's go take care of business. Things just took a turn. Lord, what was that?
That was so much fun.
So we've pretty much made it to Pawling, New York. Only about, well, less than 10 miles left before we cross into Connecticut. But there's a train stop here. It only runs on weekends, but this stop will take you right into New York City on the Metro North line. So if you want to go into the city, here's an option for you in Pawling. But just remember, it only runs on weekends, so we won't be catching any trains today. Okay, so it's about 3:15 in the afternoon. We have done about 14 miles today, and we have another 5.5 to go to get to Wiley Shelter. So that'll put us right around 20 miles on the day. And we just took a little pit stop in Pawling, New York. We saw that there was a food truck that served Malaysian cuisine. So we stopped and had some lunch. And then there's a little landscaping company there that provides some light resupply items for through hikers. And they had ice cream. So we stopped to get ice cream and use their bathroom because they're really nice about their facilities. And now we are pushing on to get to the shelter. I can't wait to get there because I'm ready to be done for the day. And then tomorrow we will have an easy 13 miles into Kent, Connecticut. So this is essentially our last day in New York. And then we will be moving into state number 10 out of 14. That's wild. Looks like a Halloween mask. Or like the Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh my gosh, that is so crazy. So it's just after 8 o'clock. We're all in our tents now, and we are going to sleep. Tomorrow we've got just 13 miles to get to Kent, Connecticut. So we'll be entering our 10th state tomorrow, and we will be passing the 2/3 mark. So we are really getting close to wrapping this hike up. So yeah, I'm actually going to be separating from Professor and her two friends, Gumby and Neo, for a little bit because they're taking a 00 this weekend. I think I'm just gonna take 1-0 on Saturday and then do some hiking on Sunday. So I won't be too far ahead and they should be able to catch up. But it's been nice spending some time with them. So yeah, this is going to do it for tonight. I'm currently editing a video, so I'm gonna try to get that done tonight. Other than that, I'm just gonna go to sleep. So I'll see y'all in the morning. Good night.